The Illini fans trying to make even more noise here for Illinois' night. Match point again for Penn State. Poulter, Strizak. Courtney out of the back row, and that'll do it. The Nittany Lions hold off the Illini and win it in 4 at Huff Hall.
Hey Fighting Illini fans, this is Michelle Provenzano catching up with volleyball head coach Kevin Hambly. Coach, it was the first weekend back at Huff for you guys after spending a lot of weekends on the road. You know, just recap the weekend, 2 losses, 1 to Penn State, 1 to Ohio State. You know, just talk about the weekend and the effort that the team made out on the court this weekend.
You brought up effort, which is interesting. It was nice, I'll start with this, it was nice to be at home. You know, it was nice to be in front of our crowd. It was nice to sleep in our own beds, all that. I was hoping that that would help us kind of bolster the effort, the level that we competed at, but I think all of us, not just me, we're all disappointed in just, of course, the result, but the inconsistency of effort and competitiveness in the group. And you know, we saw some glimpses of it certainly in sets 3 and 4 versus Penn State, and in a couple of the sets versus Ohio State. But we want to perform and compete at a high level in the Big Ten. We have to bring in every single point, and it just wasn't there for us, and that's disappointing. We got this week to work on that.
Well, looking at the Penn State matchup, I mean, even dropping the 2 sets, that 3rd and 4th set, you know, were really fun volleyball. It was, you know, hot, like point to point the entire time. Talk about a little bit what you talked to your team about before heading into that 3rd set, you know, after having been down the 2, and how they kind of adjusted and put that extra effort out in that 3rd and 4th set.
Well, a lot of what we just said now, what I just said now was, you know, you guys should be disappointed with the way that you're working and the way that you're competing. I mean, we kind of brought that up, and we can't play passive against any of these teams, and we weren't aggressive, and we weren't with our movement or anything. So we just talked about kind of the same stuff. I don't want to go through all the same things, because it really was the same thing, just to go attack these guys. Don't be, are we backing down? Are we afraid? Like what's getting in the way of this? And I thought they responded well, and I thought they competed well, and I thought the crowd helped us a lot. Obviously, they got behind it. You know, the first 2 sets, you hope to get the crowd behind you, but there was no reason for them to get excited, because we were doing nothing to inspire them. And I thought we saw what Huff can do if we start to inspire them, and how it can help us. And we made the changes. And the disappointing part is I thought we'd carry that over into Ohio State, and it wasn't that way, you know. And so we got work to do with this group to see how we can get that consistently, and especially on the road, you know.
Well, looking into Ohio State, you know, was there any difference that you did see from the team from, you know, the previous night as far as, you know, effort, play, anything on the court during that game?
Yeah, I never saw us get to where we wanted to get. That was the biggest difference. I saw it against Penn State a lot more, but we didn't. And this isn't something that we have to talk to the team about. The team's very aware of this, and they're talking about it. But the time for talking it's over. You know, like we got to do. And I'm hoping, you know, we got another chance. So that's the great thing about the Big Ten is we got Iowa who's playing great. Even though they haven't won a match, they're competing with everybody. We got Nebraska who's, you know, playing great. We've got other opportunities to learn that. And, you know, we're not certainly ready to mail in the season. I think we could still get this thing going the way we want to. And if we look at it from a practical standpoint, we played 4 really good teams, maybe 4 of the best 5, 6 teams in our conference right off the bat. And so, you know, that's a big undertaking. And if we can get our stuff together, then I feel like maybe we can beat those teams in the second half, or at the turn after we play everybody wants.
Well, like you said, you know, Iowa haven't won yet, but still a contender, and then Nebraska also a tough team. You know, what are some of the things that, you know, kind of expectations of what they might bring to the court, and then what are some things that, you know, you mentioned you just want to fight with more tenacity out on the court, just stuff that you want to see from your team out there?
Well, I think if we don't see that tenacity in the fight, it doesn't matter what we see from the other teams, because we won't stop any of it. You know, defensively, you got to have that to compete. And I would say that Iowa's a really difficult team to play offensively. They run a lot of different combinations, and they're scoring at a high rate. Defensively, sometimes they struggle, but we've really struggled to defend the teams the last 4 weeks, and so I'm hoping we got to get that going. And that's about, I said this in the press conference, but I think that defense reveals your soul, and we're playing pretty soulless right now, so we got to figure that out. With Nebraska, they're a very good defensive team. Offensively, they're in the process, and sometimes they have some great matches, but they're a very, very good defensively. They probably are the most skilled team as far as every player on the floor can handle the ball and do things, and they're hard to expose. And so offensively, So they're going to be a challenge for us because I think we've struggled to score this last week, and if we don't get some stuff together there and we don't defend with them, then we're going to be in a lot of trouble. So, I mean, again, the same thing, just us willing to put ourselves out there 100%, willing to put ourselves out there completely and just absolutely go for every single point without that, momentum.
Well, thanks, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Michelle.
And for more Illini sports coverage, visit fightingillini.com.